In this tutorial, we will create two options for living room. In the first option, we will create separate individual living room, and in the other option, we will create combined living and dining room. In the previous tutorial, we have learned how to create this floor plan. If you want to learn to create this floor plan, then link to complete playlist is given in the description. And if you want to learn AutoCAD from basic level, then link to that playlist is also given in the description. Now in this layout, at first we will turn off unwanted layers. Click here, make wall layer current, then again click here and we will turn off the chhajja, v-length, steps, text layers. Then click outside. Then I don't want any door here, so I will erase this door. Type E, enter, then select this object and enter, zoom minus. Then we will create one layer for furniture. Click here on layer properties, click on new layer, then name it as furniture, then click here and choose some color. OK, then close this dialog box. Then click here and make furniture layer current. Then at first we will create this L-shaped sofa. Here is the drawing for L-shaped sofa. Now I have considered these cushions of size 600 by 600. Then thickness of this portion is 100. Based on these considerations, I have worked out the overall lengths. At first, I will create this outside boundary of 775, 2800, 2200. Then I want to offset this complete boundary. Therefore, I will create this boundary using polyline command. Click on polyline, then specify first start point, make ortho on, take your cursor on this side, give the length of 775, enter, take your cursor above, give the length of 2800, enter, then take your cursor on this side, give the length of 2200, enter, then take your cursor below and give the length of 775, enter, enter, then zoom it, then click on offset, then specify the gap of 100, enter, click on this line, take your cursor inside and click, then escape. Then we want to create this line. Now the gap between this line and this line is 600, then this cushion size is also 600. Now this line is polyline. We don't want to offset this complete polyline, but we want to offset this individual line. For that we will have to break this polyline. To break this polyline, we will have to use explode command. Click on explode, select this polyline, enter. Then again click on offset, then specify offset distance of 600, enter, then select this line, take your cursor on this side and click, then again click on this line, take your cursor on this side and click, then select this line. Now we want to offset multiple times with same distance, therefore you can use this multiple option. Click on multiple, take your cursor above and click, then again take it above and click, then press enter, then click on this line, take your cursor on this side and click, then press escape. Then click on line, then click on this endpoint and this endpoint, press enter, then press enter to repeat last command. Again click on this endpoint and this endpoint, press enter. Then next is to create these fillets of 50 radius. Click on fillet, click on radius, specify radius of 50, enter, then select this line and this line, enter, then this line and this line, enter, then this line and this line. Now if we click on this line, it will trim this line, but we don't want to trim these lines. Then for that we will have to set this trim option. For that press escape, then press enter, click on trim and click on no trim. Then we want to create fillet multiple times. For that click on this multiple option. Then select this line, this line, this line, this line, then this line, this line. Select all the lines where fillets are required. Then here. Then to create these fillets. For these fillets we will need to extend these lines. Press enter. Then click on this arrow near the trim and click on extend. Then press enter and extend these lines. Enter. Then again click on fillet. Then click on multiple. Then select this line, this line, this line, this line. Select all the required lines. This is wrong. Undo it. Actually we want between this line and this line. Okay. Then to create these corner fillets, click on trim and click on trim because we want to trim the corners. Click on this line, same way on this corner. Then here radius is 200. For that click on radius, give the radius of 200, enter, then select this arc and this arc. Then this gap is 600, that means this radius will be 200 plus 600, that is 800. Click on radius, give the radius of 800, enter, then select this arc and this arc. Then this gap is again 100, therefore this radius will be 900. Click on radius, give the value of 900, enter, and select this line and this line, enter. Then we will have to trim unwanted portions. For that click on this arrow and click on trim, then press enter, then zoom here and select the objects. You can use crossing window. For crossing window, click in empty space and take your cursor on the left side and click. and press enter. Then erase these lines, type E, enter, then select these lines, enter. So this sofa is ready. Then to convert this into single object, click on groups and click on group. Then select all these objects and enter. Now this object is a single object. So it will be easy. If you want to rotate it, move it, escape. Then we will place this sofa here. For that, click on move. Select this object, enter. Then we will have to catch point here. For that, take your cursor on this end point or intersection point. Then take your cursor on this end point. Take your cursor above. So it will track those points. Then click. Then make ortho off and click on this endpoint. So this sofa is placed here properly. Then next is to create this copy table of 900 by 600 size and 100 fillet. For that, click on rectangle, specify first point, take your cursor away, then specify length of 600, comma 900. Enter. Then click on fillet. Then click on radius, specify fillet radius of 100, enter. Then this is a polyline object, select polyline option and click on this rectangle. So in single click all the corners will get filleted. Then next is to create this TV unit. Now the size of TV unit is 250 by 1000. Again click on rectangle, specify first point, we will create it in empty space. Specify first corner point, take your cursor above, give the length of 250, comma 1000, enter. Then zoom here. Then we will create this TV of 750 by 50 size. Click on rectangle, specify first point, take your cursor above, then specify width of 50, comma length of 750, enter. Then click on move, select this object, enter. Then for base point we want this midpoint, but now it is not showing midpoint, it is showing endpoint. To activate midpoint, click here on the arrow near object snap and click on midpoint and click outside. Then take your cursor on this midpoint, click there. Then take your cursor on this midpoint, don't click there, take your cursor away, so it will track it. Then specify the gap of 50, enter. Then to create this arc, zoom there, click on 3-point arc, then take your cursor to this midpoint, take it above, click, then click on this midpoint, again take your cursor on this midpoint, take it below and click. Then this offset of 200 from either side. Click on offset, specify distance of 200, enter, then select this line. Now this object is polyline, so we will have to break it, escape, click on explode, select this object, enter, click on offset, 200 is already there, press enter, select this line, take your cursor above and click. Then select this line, take your cursor below and click and enter. Then for trim type TR, enter, enter and remove these lines, enter. Then move it and place it here, click on move, Select this object, enter, then select this midpoint as base point and click on this midpoint. So this TV unit is also ready. Then we will have to insert this plant. For that, type TP for tool palettes, enter, then click here on these lines and click on architecture. Then scroll it down and click on this tree. Then to reduce the scale, click on scale, then specify scale of 0.25, enter. Now we want this tree or this plant to be green. We will create one layer for this plant. Click here on layer properties, click on new layer, then name it as plant. Click here and choose green color. OK, then close this dialog box, then click here and make plant layer current. Then click on trees, click on scale, specify scale of 0.25, enter, and zoom here and place it. Then close this dialog box. Then next is to create these tiles. For that we will create these lines to limit the tile area. Click here and make wall layer current. Then click on line, click on this midpoint, take your cursor above and click. Enter, enter, click on this midpoint, take your cursor above and click enter. Then for tiles we will create one more layer. Click on layer properties, click on new layer, name it as tiles, and click here and select this 9 number color. OK, then close this dialog box, make tiles layer current and click on hatch, then click here and select this NC37, then click inside this room, then click here and increase the scale to 180, enter, and click on close hatch creation. So in this way this living room layout is ready. Then to create other option, for that we will copy this, click on copy, select this object, enter, specify base point, make ortho on, take your cursor on right side and click and enter, then zoom here. Then at first we will remove these tiles, type E, enter, select these tiles, enter. Then in this case we will have to mirror this sofa. For that click on mirror, then select this sofa, select this plant, enter, then click on this midpoint. This will be the first point of mirror line. Take your cursor on right side and click. Then for erase source objects, click on yes, we want to erase this side. So in this way this sofa is mirror. Now this door is creating problems here, we can shift it outside. For that click on mirror, select this object, enter, then click here for first point of mirror line, take your cursor on this side, click, erase source objects, yes, enter, select this object, enter, then specify this point as a first point of mirror line and this point as a second point of mirror line. Click on yes. Then for this option we will have to remove this wall. For that, at first we will have to extend this line. Click here and click on extend, press enter, click on this line. Then we will have to trim this line. For that, press shift and click. By pressing shift you can use extend as trim also. Then press enter, zoom minus. Then erase these objects, type E, enter, select this object, enter. Now here we have bigger space for TB unit, so we can increase the size of TB unit. At first we will rotate this TB unit, click on rotate, select this object, enter, click on this intersection point, take your cursor above and click. Then to increase the size, click on stretch, then specify first point in empty space because we will have to use crossing window for stretch. Click here, take your cursor on the left side and click. Enter, specify base point, take your cursor on this side, specify length of 250, enter. Then again enter, click here, take your cursor on this side, click, enter, specify base point, take your cursor on this side, specify length of 250, enter. Zoom minus, then click on move, select this object, enter, click on this midpoint and click on this midpoint. So this TB unit is also placed. Then in the previous tutorial we have created dynamic block for dining table. So we will insert that dining table here. For that, at first click here and make furniture layer current. Then click here on the arrow below the insert and click on this recent blocks. Then click on these three dots to display a file selection dialog box. Click. Then we will select our dining table block. Open. Then right click on this dining table, insert and click. Then close this dialog box, zoom here. As we know this is dynamic block, so you can increase the number of settings. Click on this block, click on this arrow, take it on the right side and click and press escape. Then for tiles, again we will have to create some lines. Click here on wall, click on line, click on this midpoint, then take your cursor to this endpoint, then take it here and click. Enter, enter, then click on this midpoint, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, enter, enter, then again here, click on this midpoint, drag this endpoint, click, enter, enter, and this midpoint, drag this endpoint, drag this midpoint, click, enter, then make tiles layer current, then click on hatch, then NC31 is already selected, click here. Now here the hatch is getting inserted in the sofa, so we will take our cursor on this side, we will just try it, what happens, click, okay, it has created it properly. Then you can also control the origin point for the hatch. For that, click on this set origin, click on this endpoint. So as per that your tiles will get arranged. Then press escape. So in this way this second option is also created. In the next tutorial we will create some more furniture layouts, and we will also continue our elevation and cross-section drawing creation for floor plan. We will also create 3D house modeling, and we will continue our basic tutorials for AutoCAD. So that's all. Thanks for watching. We will stop here.